Welcome back. Today I'm doing something that I've already done, but I messed up. So I installed the front coilovers, but I put them on the wrong side, so I can't max the camber out like I need to. And I messed that up because I didn't realize that the sway bar mount for an M3 is supposed to go to the rear. As you can see, that's the brakes, and up here is the sway bar mount. That's supposed to go towards the rear. I didn't realize that when I put it in. So I'm gonna take those out, swap sides, and then move to the rear. I've also got the wheels on the front, and the stances look pretty good. Probably gonna have to figure all that out spacer wise or whatever once I get the lower control arms in. Okay, first step is 3 bolts on the bottom here. You have one here and one on the other side in the same spot. And then you've got one right here. And there's 3 on the top hat. Pull your brake line, ABS line out. If you have an M3, remove the sway bar link and then pops right out. So the process for the rears is very easy. Take the bolt off the bottom right here. It's an 18 mil. Take the bolt off, shock comes out, and then 2 bolts on the top. Those are 13 millimeter factory. Mine have been changed at some point to something different, so we'll see how that works. And then the camber arm, which this one is bent to shit. I just noticed that. But this here and that there, right there on the diff, I believe these are both 18 millimeter, but I did not know that this camber arm was bent. That would explain why the car looked so cambered in or out at the top. So we'll get these on. I'll set them both to the length of the passenger side, and we'll see how this goes. All right, got the fronts switched out, the rear coilovers are in. I wasn't able to do the camber arm because the bolt is seized, but here is roughly ride height, gap. It's hard to tell with the jacked up fender, but I can get my hand in there. That will allow me to turn without scrubbing it. The back, I can get my fingers in there, but it's stiff. I like the wheels on here for sure. These wheels look good. Quite a bit of camber. Gonna be more when the bottom gets kicked out another inch. You can really see that rear wheel tilted out as this one's in. That is not an illusion. That is actually what it looks like. Let me come back here. It is out, whereas this one is pretty much straight up and down. Maybe just a little bit out on this one, not much, but a little bit. That camber arm is jacked. It's bent to shit. So what I did was, for height on these, I took the adjusters that came with the coilover kit, and I'm adjusting one in my hands right now. These aren't quite the same, but this is essentially what I did. I would call this bottomed out, where the inner cup and the outer cup are flush, and then I went down, so it's hard to do one-handed, but I raised this to leave about a ½ inch of threads sticking out right there on the back. And I found the easy way to adjust the rear shocks, because the body of the shock is adjustable. I put it maxed out at the bottom. Again, the bottom, what I would say is safe usable range. And then put the car on the ground, set the shock, put the bolt in, and then drop the car another 1/2 inch. Before I dropped it, I would bounce the car and you would hear it clunking, but now it doesn't. It doesn't seem too stiff. I have all four coilovers. They've got 12 click adjustments for dampening. I have them all set 12 from the left. So wee bit of an update here. Probably gonna throw this in the same video as the coilovers. Got some decent camber, like the perfect stance. Again, this is gonna come out 1 inch at the bottom because the E36 lowers. I did swap the coils. They're on the right side now. The rears are done, and as you can see, the camber issue is fixed. It's hard to tell on video, but that's almost 0 degrees. I haven't measured it yet. We'll come over to this side. Looking good. And looking good. So camber arms are installed. This was a pain in my ass. So let me get down here. So I've got the max speeding rods, rear lower camber arms. I had to torch the bushings out of the bottom. This car still had bushings. The ball joints are an upgrade. M3s have ball joints. Others had the they're a bushing, essentially just a rubber bushing. These are now pressed in ball joints on the bottom. I had to get the top ones out, but to do that you have to pull the diff. So when I was a kid, I was dumb, and I actually welded the diff case to the subframe right along here. So I had to cut this off, and the reason I did that is because of the front bolt breaking. So I could not get the bolt out. Still is not out. What I did was I welded a bolt with the head cut off on the other side pointing forward. So it is now mounted properly. I hope the welds don't break. To get it in that way, I did have to cut the floor out, but that's fine because it makes the cover come right off. It makes it easily accessible. The diff goes in and out pretty smooth now. This is the hole I had to cut. Not very much. I cut below the spot welds, then I folded it up to get as much clearance as I can, but the diff is easily serviceable now. This trunk is a mess, but this is going to get a flat trunk pan in it. That's why I wasn't worried about cutting that out. I'm going to order it probably from the Turtle Fab or whatever place. I'm going to get their door cards too. So, God, that sounds like crap, but here she is. The E36 is ready to go and drivable. Now I just need to do cosmetic stuff. I want to paint this. It'll still be blue, but I want to do a really like glittery blue. Go look up Straight Line Error on Facebook. These guys, go look at their cars. They've got an E36 or E46, a 240/Sylvia. I'm not sure S13, S14 or anything. And then I believe they also have an FCRX7 that's the same color, but it's a super awesome purple, bright metallic. The only thing that could be more flashy and blingy is boat flake, like bass boat flake. But that's what I want, but in blue, because I'll obviously, you know, blue Camaro, blue BMW, blue Duramax. My Suburban is blue. And, you know, I've even got another object that's blue. My dirt bike, that's my brother's. My little pit bike is blue. Shit, even my Razor scooter's blue. I just really like blue, so yeah. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching.